Hi there, my name is Beth McDonald Stone. I'm an avid knitter and knitwear designer coming to you from New York this time, not Bermuda. We usually spend a month of the summer in New York City. It's completely opposite to Bermuda, but very close. So it's a quick 2 hour flight, and we can be in this urban oasis. And I'm a city girl, so I love it. My son's totally a city kid too. He's been coming here since he was not even walking, and has done a lot of summer camps and stuff as he's been growing up just to get a urban perspective because Bermuda is lovely but very small and you know everyone. So it's really good for him growing up to have come and sort of been immersed into massive camps with no one, you know, no one, you're not related to anyone, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so we've always loved coming to New York. It's really great. My husband usually joins us for the first bit. He's just left. In fact, right now he's back on a flight to Bermuda, and to go and see our lovely dog and, get back to the house and make sure everything's all in order there. And Oliver and I will continue on in the city for a few more weeks. So I'll actually have 2 episodes coming to you from New York. So I hope this situation here works. I know it's not the best lighting for me, but this view is amazing. Look at that. It's just so great. In this unit that we're renting this summer, it's got a sort of a bay window. So I'm hoping that by being at this angle, I can get light on me and also show you the beautiful view as my background. So I hope it works. It's really fun. And I hope there's not too much noise coming through the sound of the street. I've turned off all the air conditioning, so it'll be fine for the first bit. But if I start to perspire, that's that. But yeah, so it's a busy New York street. That's 12th Street. So we're down in the Village, my favorite neighborhood. This is where we usually spend our time. We started coming to New York house sitting for a friend of ours who is an NYU professor and had a wonderful apartment in this area. She's since downsized because her kids have left the nest, flown the coop, all that good stuff. Our kid is about to fly the coop at the end of the summer. So, yeah, anyway, so she downsized. She's still in the area. But yeah, so we still needed space. So we rented from another company. It's really great. And we're back in our favorite neighborhood, and really enjoying ourselves. So yeah, so welcome to our summer vacation. Anyway, so with this, it's kind of a funny situation. I've literally got my computer on top of my suitcase, which is on top of a dresser, and all my knitting and everything piled around me. And yeah, so let's go. I put my show notes on my phone here, so I'm going to use this so I'm not being rude. This is where all my notes are, and those notes will be listed down below in the description box for you. So all the information that I'm talking about will hopefully be there. So great. Let's get going. What am I wearing? I am wearing the solid color mango tee. This is one of my latest designs. It just was released 2 weeks ago at the last episode. It's done really well, and I thank you so much for all of your interest and everything. It's a really super tee. Let's see if I can, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can show you much, but just a nice boxy tee with fitted sleeves. And my theory there is, it's nice to be boxed. I love being boxy with my upper torso or clothing. I think it's really elegant, but I think it's really comfortable and flattering. But I do find that it tends to sometimes, it does need a contrast. So with a boxy torso, I think it's good to have a narrow sleeve, or you would have, if you had a full sleeve and a full torso, which I've got other patterns coming out with that, then I would probably do a narrower skirt or pants, just to trying to create a balance. If everything's boxy, then you just are shapeless. So to create shape with this great boxy tee, I've done very narrow sleeves, and in the instructions, there's all the information for you to modify it, because of course you get your fit here for your arm, because just like bust measurements, arms are all very unique and different. So all that's in the pattern, so don't worry about if your arms are narrower or wider than my schematic. It's all there for you to adjust to make it perfect for you. So yeah, I love this one. I knit this one out of old stash, and unfortunately the yarn is discontinued. It's a really great concept, but I did find problems with the yarn, so I'm assuming again that this yarn was discontinued because of inconsistencies in the yarn. but the concept is wonderful, and it's a nettle yarn. So it is from Plymouth Yarn, and the color, oh, sorry, Plymouth Yarn, and the yarn itself is called Nettle Grove, and I use color 40 Gray Pearl. Um, I had a number of skeins, like 6 or 8 skeins, and I had to sort of sort through them to find ones that really worked. Some were very what I would call weedy, where they went really irregularly thick and very thin. So it knit up really poorly, and the color was off between the skeins. So yeah, so I can see why it might have been discontinued, but I wish there was other. I'd love to find other nettle yarn out there that does not have any wool or yak or alpaca or anything in it. I just, for summer weight, I cannot have any wool in it. It just makes me really hot. But this is just all nettle. It still isn't the coolest yarn. I mean, it behaves sort of like a wool, so I can wear it. But right now, I think it's going to be up to like 95 today outside, so I probably won't wear it outside. And anyways, at 95 degrees, I perspire so much that I just wear a cotton t-shirt that can go right in the wash. And yeah, so this is sort of the extreme heat right now. But anyways, it's a great yarn. It's a really cool design. There is the sweater version coming out, which is, which would be either short or long sleeve. But the reason I call it sweater version, it's the mango sweater, is because it's with a DK yarn. So this is the mango tee, and this is with a finger eight yarn. It's currently on Ravelry, and the mango sweater is currently in testing and will be coming out at the end of the summer. Really quickly, the construction of this is a contiguous construction. So you do knit this way, increasing until you join. All your increases are along the shoulder. So it does look sort of like an angle at the top, which I think just fits beautifully. And then you knit out. I recommend that you knit to your sort of midpoint of your upper arm, and that would be your width, and then it just works straight. You do separate for the sleeves here, and again, if your sleeves are smaller or longer, you just knit flat in the front and the back as much as you need here, and then join again and knit for the body. Maybe I'll insert some photos here just because I'm right against the window, so I can't really show you the whole look, but I'll put pictures here of the whole tee so you can see how it fits. I have done it 13 inches from the underarm, which is longer than I have historically done, but it's my new favorite length. And I'm finding that is great because I'm liking things a bit longer these days to tuck in a little bit into my skirts. I personally feel like I might be going away from the cropped look and maybe going into a bit longer look, but that's just where my tastes are taking me. I don't know if that suits you, but again, lengths of sweaters, t-shirts, and all that, super customizable. You just stop where you want to stop. So anyways, so that's that. So this is the mango tee in the solid version. Yeah, okay. Oh, and what's up next? Let's talk about what I've been working on. I haven't finished anything. There was a huge finishing episode in the last episode, number 43, so that really cleared my needle, so I really started on some new projects, and that's great. And again, this is kind of travel for me, but I also can keep on working on a design, so I'm working on one design and 2 other patterns. If you remember last time I talked to you, had just finished, sorry, I'm just grabbing this so the yarn doesn't fall. I had just finished the Night Shift Shawl by Andrea Mowry, and I loved it. It was the perfect knit, especially for travel, because it had a little interest, not too much, and you got to really enjoy the Spincycle yarns and how they played and everything like that. So I wanted to start another similar project, and I was totally in love with a design from Patty from the Forest City Knits called the Brightside Shawl, and it's really lovely. So I've whipped through section 1 and 2, which is this, so it's sort of like your frame or the base of the pattern. And this morning I just picked up the stitches along the bottom edge, and it's hard to show, I'll do a little bit down here, so it'll go the length of it, so it'll be perpendicular to these stitches. I love Spincycle. So I've used here two of the Spincycle yarns that are slightly more muted in colors, one darker and one lighter, that do have color transitions, but they're a little bit not as dramatic as some of the yarns, and I really liked that for this. Specifically, I like the idea of that at the bottom here. So this is a big triangle, except I'm on, it's hard to show. But anyways, this is a point. You can't tell because the needle's in it. But at the point, there'll be a really nice sort of like boomerang shaped band at the bottom. And I loved on one of Patty's how the Spincycle with a slower gradient, just kind of the color just sort of grew this way. And I thought it was really pretty. Hard to explain. Let me knit it some more. And next time I'll probably show you how, if in theory this is what I'm doing, works out, what I really like about it. But yeah, so really pretty. So I am using, I had in my stash two more skeins of Purse First of Spincycle. Let's see if I can get, it's just a lovely purple, shades of purple, and I don't have it on this skein, but in the other skein there was a really lovely section of navy blue, which I think is really cool. It's right there, so that's really neat. But basically it's sort of shades of purple. And then the other one that I'm using is called, let me just look it up because I can't seem to remember it, Love Spell. And it is, I've just wound this one up so by hand because I had to order this to come and meet me here. I didn't have anything light. I had all the same basic tonal range, like mid-tones of Spincycle. So I know now I really need to collect a few of the light tones so that I can have, and probably some dark because I've just now used up my darkest ones in the night shift and this finishing up with this shawl. So the Love Spell is great because it has a lot of lighter shades. So you can see here sort of pale greens and blues. I've used up a lot of the lovely soft pinks and purples. So yeah, it's really pretty. I'm really having fun with that. That's the back side. And this is the front side. And it's just such a fun knit. It's just so relaxing, and I'm really enjoying the feel of Spincycle in my hands, especially on a hot day. Yeah, it seems to really work for me right now. So can't recommend this enough. I can't wait to show you more of it when I'm sure I'll be finished because I'm completely addicted to this one for the next video. But there, if I hold my thumb at the center point, you can see, yeah, and you can see some of the greens and blues and the pinks and purples over on this side. Really lovely. Really lovely. So thank you, Patty. That's a great pattern. Just throwing it, this is actually my bedroom with this beautiful view and this bay window, and honestly it makes such an amazing office. But because at night when you're in here, because there's so many other buildings around, you have to close the blinds, and it's, you know, it's quite bright in here. But if you were working in here and having the view of this as you worked, maybe you wouldn't get much work done. But it's really lovely. Anyways, okay, you can tell I'm distracted by it. So that's my first whip. My second whip I started, I think I showed you a little bit before, and this is the Rib Vault Socks by Stephen West. And I worked on this, I did a lot of the foot on the airplane, and then I haven't really touched them since, and I'm sure I'm going to go through a phase in wanting to knit with them. Actually, let me put that on that side, and you can see. If you know Stephen West Rib Vault Socks pattern, you'll know that this actually is double, and it's taken down the foot. I really love this stitch motif, but it's highly textured, and I didn't want it down on my upper foot because I do love to walk a lot, and I know that highly textured stitch would be definitely felt within my shoes and probably irritate my foot. So I didn't continue it. I just basically used it on my leg, and I only used one repeat of it simply because I don't think it needs to be a tall sock. I like to wear sort of Oxford shoes maybe in the winter. Is that the right word? Like lace up leather shoes, or running shoes, and I didn't think I needed it on my leg. The other thing is, even though there's a lot of extra stitches, this stitch motif really does bring it in, and I was getting worried that I would have a hard time if it was longer to get it over my heel. So it does go over my heel. I have tried it on. It's great. It is snug. I'm glad I didn't do two lengths of it in the future, or my recommendation for this pattern would be to go up a size. So I usually you knit a 64 stitch sock. I would probably go up the next size, and then you'd actually have even more than 72 stitches on a needle at one point, I think, if I remember correctly, for this section, but it would be really handy. So I think I'll be sure to put that in my pattern notes, because this, if I did the whole leg, I'm not sure if I could get it on. But it's really a lovely design. And I really, really do like it. I would be totally tempted to knit it again with the 72 stitch count, and then I could do double. And I guess I have some boots that I haven't really gone cold for a while, so I don't really know what, can't think of, other than really tall boots. Anyway, so you can see this is what I go through, but I should just knit it because it's fun to knit. And really I am really just knitting it because it's fun to knit. But anyway, so when I'm back and I, at this, I'm sure to finish up the toe very quickly and have this done. I'm not in a huge rush. I'm sure I've talked to, or you've heard me talk about socks. I love knitting socks. I don't wear a lot of socks. I live in Bermuda. It's pretty hot. Even in the winter, I don't really wear socks. I travel with socks. I wear socks. Well, I'm just going to throw this on the bed here too. I travel with socks and I wear them then, but they're more just a pleasure to knit. But I am trying to be practical, as you can tell, to knit ones that I would wear. Oh, and that yarn, that's cake wool yarn, and their base called Whisk, which is the sock base. It's a nice twist, and I don't know the color. It didn't have a color name on it. I bought it last year at Cake Palooza, and it's just so pretty. So much fun to knit with. So that's that. My third work in progress is a design I'm working on, and I'm loving it. I just did the collar, and I'm glad to have done that before showing it to you, because I think it gives you a better idea of the shape. But again, it's just another boxy, the increases on the shoulder, and this time with like an old Shawl pattern. A lovely friend of mine named Allison suggested a great name, and let me pull it up because I have the memory of a newt. And anyways, she suggested Ride the Wave, and I love that name for this. So Ride the Wave, it will have probably 3/4 length sleeves, and again they'll be fitted so that it offsets this wave pattern, which is the old Shawl pattern. I didn't add any texture. I'll hold it to the side. I didn't add any texture to the pattern because I thought it was busy enough, but with the old Shawl you can do so much with it. It's really fun. The big thing for designing with this is the old Shawl, because of the waves, it sort of shrinks it this way. So the big thing was to match the stocking at stitch gauge with the lace stitch gauge. And so that was kind of fun to do. So it's just changing needles. So you start with a much smaller needle here and then go up, I think, 2 sizes for the wave motif. And then that kind of works it, bridges the gap, I should say. Yeah, so yeah, as you can see, I started the neck, worked around and around, increasing at the shoulder until I got to the depth here and joined in the round. All the increases still worked in the round, down the shoulders. I'm not going to be able to leave it on this hanger for too long because I can see it's already going to start to mark it. But yeah, so you keep on increasing until you get to your width, that your desired width, and then separate front from back just for a little bit to do the armhole opening, rejoin, and then finish the body. I love this wave pattern, so I'd like to keep that, I think, and I'll probably just do sort of a large not large, but like a multi-stitch 3 to 4, maybe even 5 stitch I-cord. I want it heavy and large enough and heavy enough that it won't flip up, but and with gravity go down, but to maintain the wave. You could also just transition back into a rib, and then you'd have probably a flattish border at the bottom. So maybe in the pattern I should put both options in because it's very easy. I will just do solid sleeves, more fitted, and probably 3/4 length. Yeah, so that's really great. I'm using the Wandering Flock singles in the colors Alexandrite, and again, my memory is not great. Neon Lilac. So Alexandrite and Neon Lilac there. Really fun. And I bought these last year at the one at, oh my gosh, I always forget the name of this. It's an event hosted by Brooklyn General on Friday before Rhinebeck. I always want to call it Woolens and Nosh or Woolly Good Gathering. It's neither of those. I'll put it here. Sorry, totally blanking on the name of that event. I'm going again this year, and last year I purchased this from the Wandering Flock, and I'm really excited about this design. I think it looks really cool, and I could totally see it with denim skirts and just pretty chill and fabulous. And that's kind of what I like to design these days. Okay, I'm going to try and chuck this on the bed. Actually, I'll just place it. Yeah, so that's what I've been knitting. Just letting you know, like, update on what I've been up to and stuff. We've been here for about 10 days, and yeah, it's great. I like to walk, as I've mentioned before, so pretty much when Jeff was here, we just would wake up, walk to our favorite breakfast diner, have that, and then go for like a 4-hour walk and come back, chill out, go out for dinner, and then come back and chill out. And in the chilling out is knitting, so it's been really fun. And in New York, you literally just pick a direction and walk in it and have a great time. Yesterday, we, as an example, went south from the diner, and the diner's in the West Village, and we just walked south down around City Hall and the very old church down there. Luckily, the church was open. I've never been in it. It's the oldest church in Manhattan, and I think it's called St. Paul's, but I can't really remember. It was the countryside church, with a lot of orchards around it when the city was really small and down at the real tip of Manhattan. And it was built in like 1763 or 1765 or something like that. It's really beautiful. It's basically right beside where the Twin Towers were, and so you've got all the museum behind the Twin Tower Museum and the new Freedom Tower right behind it. So it's such a really interesting dichotomy of very old Americana with very modern. The church was open. I've never been in it because when I'm usually down there, it's from running, and usually it's really early in the morning. So it's really nice to actually go in the church. It's really beautiful. It's really simple. It looks almost like a meeting house rather than a church. Anyways, it was really neat, and the graveyard was open. I don't know why I'm going into great detail about that, but that's basically what we do. So we walk down there, and then we walk back, get a drink on the way back, really just sort of lackadaisical. Oliver is really busy, so we usually know where he is and pop in and visit him on the way back. And yeah, it's really nice. There's so much to look at here and watch, and people watch and see, and we love Washington Square. We spend a lot of time in Washington Square, just even walking through, sitting down, people watching. We love the dogs at the dog park. It's just really nice. It's great in the evening to watch whatever performance or performers are performing. Sorry, lack of word. That sort of thing. And then we're right by the Union Square Market's literally right up here. So that's really fun. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays to wander through, get some groceries and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a really chill urban trip. While I'm here, I love to learn. As you know, I like to learn in any way I can. I take classes whenever I can. And so this year I'm taking a class at the New York Sewing Center, and I chose the Garment District just because I'm in Manhattan, and why not? They have another location in Williamsburg, and I heard that they're opening another one up in New Jersey. I can't remember the name of the town. Sorry. Anyways, that's going to open up in December, I think. Nope, that name's not coming to me. Anyways, so New Jersey. It's great. So I'm taking Sewing 101, and yeah, and we've picked our patterns. So we had a basic primer last Friday on the sewing machines, and just basic skills on the sewing machines, and then they had a box of sort of design patterns, vintage patterns to choose from. So I picked this long skirt. And then our homework was to go and find fabric. So I went to Mood Fabric, which is in the Garment District, and it's a really fantastic fabric store. 3 floors, everything you need, really amazing. I like linen, so I found this really nice sort of slubby linen. I'm really excited, but I think it'll be perfect for my wardrobe and will match exactly this yarn here. So that's really cool. And then I was also to find, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to shake you. We were also meant to find some trimmings. So I found 2 trimmings because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. One is kind of like a crocheted lace effect. I really like that. It's in black. And the other is, sorry for the crinkling, more colorful tape. And so I could go either way. I like how this white picks up the white flecks in the fabric. I'll move this and hopefully not shake you too much. So there's the fabric again. That looks really cool. But the black, which I've now thrown on the bed, the black crochet might be really, crochet lace, might be really more neutral than that. Like this might be a bit more casual, that might be more neutral. I don't know. It's my first skirt. It's not gonna, we'll see how it works out. I shouldn't be overthinking these details because we don't know how much of a success it's going to be. But I'm excited about it. I'm learning lots, loving the classroom. It's really great. Lots of, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 of us in the class plus a teacher. Really great. The teacher's super knowledgeable. My classmates are really fun. We're having a great time. Yeah. So that's Friday morning. So I've got class number 2 tomorrow morning, and I will be cutting out the skirt. So I really look forward to learning more about that. I can see this being a whole new rabbit hole for me to dive down. I think it's really fun. I'm really interested, and I love watching podcasts. I learn a lot from podcasts, which I'm very keen to watch. And there's a lot of podcasters who are also really good at sewing, and I'm getting lots of inspiration from them. So like Mega from Skeins with Dreams, if you haven't watched her podcast, I love it. And she's so talented with sewing too and knitting. And Casey from Young Folk Knits, she's a beautiful crafter with both sewing and knitting, and so many more. Mara Lisa, amazing. So I would like to learn, and we'll see where it goes. And I'll just stick with maybe simple skirts, and if I can add pockets, then it's a win. So that's that. What else is on my list? The other thing that I got up to last Saturday, it was really great. The Wandering Flock had an open house in Brooklyn. So I bought tickets for my husband and I, and we went out to Brooklyn and went to the Wandering Flock. I purchased some lovely yarn. It's now going back to Bermuda with Jeff. But I bought some cotton Lino, which is, I think, a new base for them. And it's a cotton, silk, linen, and a small bit of alpaca base. And I'll put a picture of what I purchased. The colors I chose were Citrine and Qing, or Qing. Qing. Qing, I think that is. Anyways, I thought they were really pretty colors, and I look forward to working with that. I'm not sure if I will treat that as a summer weight yarn. So I did buy the main color I think will be the Qing, which is sort of a soft greeny blue gray. Sorry, the truck says hello. I think it'll be too warm for me for summer, so I did get enough yarn if I wanted to add sleeves. I also added some, when I was trying to work on shawl concepts or just to knit oops, there's the window. Shawl concepts to knit of other people's designs like Stephen West and Andrea Mowry and this lovely recent one. I realized that my color schemes are available in single skein yarns that I have in my stash. I'm really missing a few colors, so I purposely sort of wanted to pick up some sort of good turquoisey, more turquoise sort of greens and some peaches and stuff like that. So I bought the Neon Kelly in a single, and out of her baby Paca colors, I bought Poppy and Peach Pop. And again, I'll insert pictures there because they're, like I said, going back to Bermuda with Jeff right now. At the Wandering Flock open house, they had other vendors there, and one person who I was really inspired by, and I'd like to order some of her yarn, is Kira Wiggins. And Kira is an amazing spinner, and her yarns are gorgeous. So yeah. And she has braids and everything like that. So that's the back of her card. Below, I've included in the description her contact information if you'd like to look into it. But her, because I'm not a spinner, I would love to spin. If anyone knows of any classes for spinning in the New York City area, I would love to take them probably next summer. But if I could squeeze it in this summer, that'd be great too. So do let me know if there's anything. I've taken drop spindle classes, and that's fine. I don't need to take any more of that. But what I'm really keen to do is to do a spinning wheel class so that I can try spinning wheels and then purchase a spinning wheel and then continue my education at home in Bermuda. But I'd like to start with working with someone here or anywhere. But anyways, here, because I'm here. Anyway, so if anyone knows of a spinning class or anything, demonstration or whatever here in the Manhattan area, that'd be great. But I was really inspired by her yarn, and I would like to think of something to design with it. So stay tuned there. And then once I have an idea, then I'll order it and everything like that. So she was really inspiring at the Wandering Flock open house. I also bought just from up here, what's that big bookstore called? Barnes & Noble. They had in the magazine section a really good sock knitting book. And I kind of collect those because what I really like is like, here are 6 options for toes, here are 6 options for heels, cuffs. Like, I just sometimes, I've never designed a sock. I've designed it, I've never published it. Will I? I'm not sure if I ever will. But I might do it just for myself. Like, I might just sort of knit a design that I want to do. And I love the idea of just having like a compilation of like, choose from these heels or choose from these toes. Because I know before I've gone through different toe and constructions to get a better fit. I've resorted back to sort of the classic shape toe, which is just, decreases that good into gradual decreases, more decreases, and then a sort of square toe. I have tried other things in the past. I'd like to keep trying that. I've tried lots of different heels. I'd like to keep trying that. I think there's benefits to each one for different situations. Anyways, it was just a good book to have in my library. And again, that's going home with Jeff, so I'll put that on the screen too. But yeah, it was called The Complete Sock Knitting Guide by Lynne Rowe. So a really unique name, but looks like a really good book. Anyways. And then lastly, the other thing that I had sent here is I really would like to I have the Lika needles, which are bamboo needles, but I'll be honest, I cannot stand the cords. And I understand that the Chiagoo is my favorite needle and favorite cord. And I understand that the Chiagoo Bamboo needles, the cords are great and work with the existing cords that I have from the red lace ones. So I did buy, I bought the bamboo Chiagoo 2 sets, the 5-inch and the 4-inch. And I know that's kind of over the top, but I really find there's a need for both. Like the 5-inch is my comfort, like smooth sailing in the body, lots of stitches. 4 inches are really great for smaller circumferences, neckline, sleeves, etc., etc. So while I know that's kind of a duplicate of the needles, it's really handy for me. So I bit the bullet and I ordered them to come here. So that's great too. So I feel like that was on my wish list, and anyways, so I did it. It took me forever. Do you ever find that where you think, oh, this would really be helpful, but it literally took me like 2 or 3 months before I actually made the purchase? So I've got depending on how much I get through with my existing WIPs, I have one more t-shirt that I'd really like to knit, and it's with a cellulose fabric or yarn, which I'll talk about another time because I can't remember the name of the yarn and I can't remember the name of the pattern. I know that the designer is Caitlin Hunter, so stay tuned. It's a lovely one. And I can talk about that later with my new needles, and I can tell you what I think about them. I'm sure I'll love them. So that's really everything that I've been up to. I'm going to end with some little videos of Union Square Market, Washington Square Park. There's lovely jazz there all the time, so I just enjoyed the scenery with the jazz music in behind. What else? Oh, the dog park. It's really, really fun to watch the dogs there. And yeah, just a few sort of life snippets of our quiet, gentle walks in the summer. So I hope all is well with you. I hope you're busy knitting or crocheting or doing anything that you really love. And I hope your summer is going well. Let's hope that the heat passes a little bit. I'd love the low 80s. That's my ideal, but I'll take 90s. It's fine. Anyways, so I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Thanks so much for watching and happy knitting. Bye.